Good morning everyone, and a very warm welcome to you all to our e-Messy Church today. Do you know what taxes are? You might have heard people talk about them, and this is what a dictionary says taxes are. Taxes are a sum of money paid to a government, which the government uses to pay for its services to the people and to maintain itself. Taxes are charged on what we earn and many things that we buy. In Scotland, adults pay something called the council tax, and the local council uses it to pay for things like grass cutting and bin collections and street lights and planting flowers in the parks. People who work pay tax money from their wages, money which pays for things like hospitals and old age pensions. Taxes pay for things that are meant to help everyone. Sometimes those in charge of a country keep the money paid in taxes to make things better only for themselves. They might live in big houses and eat good food, while the people who must pay taxes live in small houses and cannot afford good food. Jesus lived in a country where the people in charge of the country were called Romans. The Romans, they were called that because their leaders came from Rome and Italy. They ruled many countries and they made the people in these countries pay taxes. And they used some of the taxes they paid to feed their armies and to build roads. The Romans' leader was called the emperor. Often the Romans allowed the local leaders to make some decisions about how people were to behave, but the final say was with them. You might remember that one of Jesus' friends was paid by the Romans to collect taxes, and his name was Matthew. Many people who lived in the country where Jesus lived were not happy about paying taxes. And they knew that some of the people who collected taxes for the Romans sometimes charged more than what the Romans had asked for and kept the extra for themselves. One day someone asked Jesus a question about taxes, and he said, "Teacher, should we pay taxes to the Roman emperor or not?" Now, people were very interested to see how Jesus would answer his question. If Jesus said no, you do not need to pay the taxes, someone would tell the Romans and he would be in big trouble. If Jesus said yes, you need to pay taxes, many people would think that he was wrong, on the side of the Romans, and they would be angry with him. Jesus knew that it was a good question, and he had a good answer. He asked someone to bring him a coin, the sort of coin that people used to pay the Romans their taxes. Then he showed the person who had asked the question the coin. "Tell me," said Jesus, "whose head and whose name and title is on this coin?" The person answered him, "It is the emperor's head, and the words say that he is the emperor." "Well then," said Jesus, "you need to give the emperor what belongs to the emperor." Some people smiled, some frowned, many people thought it was a great answer. "And," Jesus said, "you need to give to God what belongs to God." The man went away. He wondered, what was it that belonged to God? He had a lot of thinking to do. You could spend some time looking at coins from different countries to see what is on them, or take part in the activity prepared today by Valerie.
Jesus was asked a question one day about paying tax, and he asked the people who asked the question to show him a coin. And they produced one of the special coins that was used to pay tax in that country at that time. And Jesus said, "Whose head is it on the coin?" And they said, "It's the head of Caesar, who was the emperor." And then on the back of the coin, there was a picture of a reed, like you get in a marsh, which was to do with the country that they were in. So for today, we're going to have a look at some coins, modern coins, foreign coins, coins from our country, and see whether they still have heads on. I don't think we'll find any which have reeds on the back, but you never know. So we're going to have a look at them, and then we're going to learn how to make rubbings of the coins. You're going to need some stiff, thin paper. The best thing to use is greaseproof paper, just a thin sheet, preferably fairly pale, not the dark brown greaseproof that you can get nowadays. And you'll also need some wax crayons, preferably dark colours. If you've got any special wax that's actually used for making rubbings, you can use that. If you've got a very soft pencil, like 5B, 8B, 9B, though that will be quite good as well. You just need to experiment and see what's best for you with the right combination of things. So we'll go on now to look at some of the coins. In 1971, the United Kingdom went over to decimal coinage, and before that we had pounds, shillings and pence. And May Henderson has kindly lent me a special presentation pack which shows all the different coins. She's also made a special thing to help her grandchildren understand what it was like then, of what all the value of all the coins. So it says useful things at the bottom, like 8 half-crowns make £1. So if you have a granny who is the right sort of age, you could talk about what it was like then and what they had to learn at school. We had to do something called the pence table, which started off 12 pence 1 shilling, 20 pence 1 and 8 pence, 24 pence 2 shillings, and we had to stand there and recite this, and we went up to about 100 pence. I don't know whether anybody else had to do that, but you could ask them. In a lot of countries, the picture on the front of the coin is of the person who is the ruler of the country, either a king or a queen or a president or somebody like that. And then countries that don't have people like that, they tend to have different symbols that are important to the country. So the Icelandic coins are very interesting because they've got for the 1 krona coin, there's a cod, and for the 10 krona coins, there are dolphins, and for the 100 krona coin, there's a lumpfish. So they're all things that come out of the sea, which is what Iceland is known for, and they're important to the economy of the country, and that's why they're on the coins. Julia Meeson has lent me a coin of 1 zloty from Poland, and you can see the picture here of the front and of the back. When there are special occasions in this country, the Royal Mint issues special coins, and we've got a picture here of some of them over the years. There's the wedding of Prince Charles and Princess Diana. Further back, there's the coronation of the Queen, our present Queen. And then there's various ones to commemorate how long she's been the Queen. And you can see those in this picture. There's a lot of different ones. Perhaps you can pause the video and have a look and see. And you might have some in your house as well. Now we're going to go on and look at how to do the rubbings. Now we're going to do some actual rubbings of the coins. So you'll need your piece of fairly stiff paper, either ordinary paper, any size, or greaseproof paper. And you'll need a coin which is preferably quite large, so it's easier to see what you're doing. This is a 50 pence piece, and it's the picture of the Queen on the front, and that's what we're going to do. I'm going to use a black wax crayon. You can use any other sort of wax crayon or a very soft pencil, if you like. The best thing to do is to put it underneath the paper and then just rub over with your fingers so that you can actually see and feel where it is. And then hold tight with one hand and rub with, preferably with the side of the crayon, not the tip. Don't press too hard. Try not to go over the edge, but it really doesn't matter. You can always cut it out afterwards if you need to. So you can see the picture is beginning to emerge. Now at this point you have to let go and hold on the other side and finish off rubbing the bit you haven't done. If there's any gaps, don't fill them in with the point, just go over them again with the side. So that should look like a 50p piece with the Queen's head on. We'll do another one with a different coin. This is an old pre-decimal penny with the head of George VI, and I'm going to use a different colour. I'm going to use a red one for that. Same thing, press down round so you can feel where the coin is, and then use the side of the coin, of the crayon rather, and you should get a different sort of head. It's facing the other way. This was our present Queen's father, George VI. And on some sorts of paper and with some crayons, the lighter colours work better, and sometimes the dark ones do. So you just have to practice and see what works best. I've done a lot of practice before I came to do this. You can see the different things I've done. I've also rubbed a few things that weren't pennies just to see what happens. There's 2 paper clips there. So you can also make a pattern with your rubbings. This one potentially is a money tree. It's a flower pot with some stems, and you can put the flowers around the edge and you end up with something like that. That's a money tree with 5 50p pieces on. So I hope you enjoy exploring what you can do with coins and with the wax crayons. And you can always take a picture and email it to Yulia to show her what you've done.
Now we're going to finish with a song. Please sing along with us, and it's a tune we have sang a few times during lockdown already. A little more like Jesus.
Who is the one gritty and tough, stand his ground so full of love? He is the one I want to believe in. Who is the one so full of grace, caring and brave, gives us a place? He is the one I want to believe in. Can we be more like this? A little more like Jesus. Can we see more like this? A little more like Jesus. Who is the one that sets people free, daring to question and disagree? He is the one I want to believe in. Who is the one who gave it his all, tears in his eyes, broken and whole? He is the one I want to believe in. Can we be more like this? A little more like Jesus. Can we see more like this? A little more like Jesus. A little more, a little more, a little more like Jesus. A little more, a little more, a little more like Jesus.
thank you all for taking part in our messy church today. It's been great to be able to share this time with you in this small way.
May the grace of God and the love of Christ and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forever. Amen. Next week you will need air-dry clay or salt dough, which can be made by mixing 2 cups of flour, 1 cup salt, 3/4 cup of water and 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Coloured ribbon, scissors and pencils. Have a great week and see you then. Bye.